Hello and welcome back. Yesterday was the 4th of July. I trust all of you are doing well today who celebrate the 4th of July. For those of you who don't celebrate the 4th of July, I still hope you had a great day nonetheless. It was loud here last night, and you can see from the little one on the chair behind me there. Today's a great day for some rest and relaxation post all the fireworks. Anyhow, there were some fireworks yesterday of a completely different nature, and I'd like to share that with you now and then tell you a little bit of the backstory. Well, back, and you can probably tell by that short snippet and a few photographs that it was a dynamic moment. Even now, I'm stuttering as I think about it. See, the truth of the matter is, I was just like a tool in the whole process. I was like this stick. I was just something to be used. And I was so glad to know that I was. Now, for the rest of the story. Yesterday morning, the wife noticed that some of the local dogs had gotten out of the yard, and they're escape artists, and they do this fairly often. And my dogs, which one of them is right there, it's Baby, and nobody puts Baby in the corner. Uh, they tend to get a little anxious when those dogs run around. They come to the back fence and they sniff, and the dogs who are running around, they're like, "Hey, we're having fun. Why don't you come join us?" Our dogs are, "Hey, why don't you let us just come and eat you?" Even though they're little tiny dogs, they have big hearts and they're very, very dedicated to protecting the house territory. With that in mind, um, the wife likes to bring the dogs in, and so do I. We bring them in, calm them down, and either wait till the other dogs will leave or go out and get the other dogs and send them to their house. Yesterday, it was hot and muggy morning, and the wife just wasn't having anything to do with all that. So she brought the dogs in. We have a little doggy door. She closed the doggy door down, and that was that. About an hour and a half later, the dogs want to go outside. And I said, well, we'll let them out and we'll keep an eye on them. And if something goes awry, we'll go out there and take care of things. The dogs went out. Things went awry, and out we went to take care of things. And I went out to the back fence. And the dogs were pretty insistent in their communication about something that was out there. So I went all the way out there. I had to call them in. And I had to herd them in. They normally will come when I call them, but nah, not this time. They were pretty aggravated. So I got them into the house. But when I was in the back part of the yard, I could hear dogs barking, and one of them sounded fairly distressed. And it just tugged on my heart. I get our dogs in, and I tell the missus, hey, something's up with the dogs. I think one of them may be hurt. I can't tell. We have a little ditch in the back. Some people call it a creek. A ditch. We have a ditch back there, and I could hear the dog and one or two of 'em under some kind of duress. I could just tell, you can hear that. Got my shoes on. I got my walking stick, and I thought, should I bring my heavy walking stick that has a great big ball and just have to press? Because I was thinking about taking a pistol with me. The reason is we have coyotes, and I didn't know if we had an issue going on, a standoff or coyotes. Now, if the coyotes had been there, they probably would have finished it off. And we've had that happen. Somebody let their little tiny, 8, 10 pound wannabe dogs out, and the wannabe dogs challenged the coyotes, and the coyotes said, hold my beer. And they snatched the dogs. It didn't work out well for them. That lady has since gotten a fence, and some of the coyotes were dealt with in the following days and weeks. That's a couple years now, and the coyotes, they tend to be fairly prolific. So I didn't know if I needed to bring protection for me, protection for the animals, I don't know what. But I decided I wasn't going to club a dog. I wasn't going to shoot a dog. I'm not going to club a dog. And, being in a muddy environment, slipping down, not prepared, I might just shoot myself. So, okay, no gun, no club, just a long walking stick in case I had to go into the ditch because it's fairly deep. And I didn't know if there was water in there or not. There is today. Had a big rain shower. So I make my walk out towards to where the dogs were barking, and there's an empty lot between our house and the next house, and that neighbor owns that lot, and he has a little garden there, so sometimes it's obstructed, and I'm walking, I hear one dog barking, and I look, I say, oh, yep, it's the normal dogs. We know there's some huskies, and we go out, and I go out, and I'm walking to it. Now, I had already agreed with the missus, I'll have my cell phone because she said, should I go with you? I said, why don't you stay here in the cool and where you can get all the communications and whatever we need done. If I need something, you don't have to go back to the house to get it and then come back out, right? So she's at the house on the ready. I'm making the approach. And there's a red slash brownish white dog whose name is Sunday, I find out. The Sunday is barking, yippity yap yap, and you heard her. She's barking at me. I'm like, okay, I'm on the way, and I'm talking gently, trying to use a higher register voice and a little sing song, just be nice. Hey, okay, okay. And I'm walking towards the dog, and when I get about 30 yards away, the dog turns around and runs a little bit. I'm like, what the heck? So I keep walking, and the dog comes back. But now I'm closer, and the dog is fairly about that 30-yard range, but we're further along. So we're kind of sliding along the path. And after about the third iteration of the dog stopping and barking at me, and oh, by the way, all the time I could hear another one yelping. So I've got one dog barking, another dog yelping. I finally figured out this is my chance. I get to be in that rare event when an animal comes looking for a human. We always, the wife and I say human, looking for an human to come and rescue one of the pack, right? Okay, I'm on the way. I'm getting a picture here, and I'm moving quicker. And now that dog Sunday is trusting me. I'm sure in their barking back and forth, the conversation said, "Don't worry, I've got help. They're on the way." Don't have a lot of confidence in who I have, but he's on the way. And then the other one said, okay, okay, who is it? Who is it? It's the big loud guy. Great. Here I am in some distress, and you bring the biggest, loudest person in the neighborhood to save me. Thanks. Anyway, I get to behind the neighbor's house now. We've gone past the lot. Now we're behind his house. And we're going further. And we're actually getting behind the second neighbor's house, the third lot over. And this one dog, Sunday, has run back and forth and is leading me down the bank. And it's overgrown, it's bushy. And I'm like, okay, great. I'm going to have to go through an overgrown, bushy embankment and mud. And I can tell there's water in the ditch. I can hear this puppy whimpering on the other side. I got this really long walking stick, so it's not like I can use it for self-defense or anything, but we already discussed that. And oh, by the way, it's a haven for mosquitoes. But my heart is impacted by these cries. And the other dog is barking at me, come on, come on, come on. So finally, I come upon an area where I can get in, and I sit down on the bank, and I look, and I showed you pictures. There's one, the red dog, is kind of sitting down in the stream, letting the water run over her paws. Thing kind of cool, smart dog. And every once in a while getting up and running back and forth like, "Come on, dude, go get my sister," because they're sisters. And I'm like, "Hey, I'm not moving because the dog on the other side is on the embankment and it's pretty steep. I wouldn't make it up. And there's bramble and there's trees and all sorts of stuff growing around in there. And it's steep coming down, it's steep going up. So a dog can move left or right a little bit, but it's like, I'm not going down because I'll fall. I can't go up. Truth of the matter is, if the dog had turned around and just gone up a little bit, like maybe 5, 6 feet, it would have been able to get to another field on the other side of the ditch. The dog doesn't know this. They come out and there's 3 puppies, and one of the puppies has gone back to the house. I think that puppy was trying to get, daddy to come help. So one puppy goes back, gets secured. The gentleman, Tim, and my wife, they come down to where I'm at and they're calling for me. And as soon as Tim whistled, the other 2 dogs go, "Oh, that's our Ooman. We're good." And the red one, Sunday, goes down the creek, up the hill, back behind me, and right to daddy, right? All right. Now I'm like, okay, now we have to get this other one that's kind of panicking, won't go up, won't come down. And I'm thinking, I don't think that dog's going to come to me. So I say to the dad, "Hey, Tim, going down into the ditch. We had to get into the water. It wasn't very deep. And, you saw it's only deep." And he got to the other side and calling. Now, I didn't realize he made the comment that getting down like that and doing all this work wasn't really good for his hip because he had pins and plates in his hip. Like, okay, great. You go get your dog. I'm right here with you, making sure you don't fall. I'm ready to be helpful. And he gets the dog and he's able to recover her and he's covering her. Now he needs to go up the hill on the other side of the dog. So I help him up out of because he can't put his hands down to scramble out. So I help him get up out of it, and then I get up out of it, and then we carry the dogs, and everything's good, and the dogs are rescued. And I got to carry the reddish brown one, whose name is Sunday, and the other one that was panicking, that's Pearl. So I'm carrying Sunday, and he's carrying Pearl, and we have a great conversation, and we get the dogs home, and it's all good, right? And then it dawned on me, amazingly, that Sunday on the 4th of July, rescued her sister Pearl. Think about that. Good to be a part of it. I've seen lots of stories on Facebook and in YouTube about some animal, a deer or uh, a bull or a cow or a elephant running to go get some help. I think I saw a moose once, trying to get humans to come help for a baby lost in a river or something. And while mine wasn't lost or stuck in a river, and it wasn't a super heroic thing I had to do, it was just interesting to listen and be a part of this rescue operation on the 4th of July of little Pearl and by Sunday. And I was just a bit actor in that, but felt good. I thought, hey, what's amazing about this is I felt strong enough to go crawling through bushes and get down an embankment and do all these things. And yeah, I broke a sweat because it wasn't difficult. I wonder how it would have been 6 months ago, a year ago. How much hesitation would I have had thinking, I don't know if I can get down in there. I don't know if I can get back out. What am I going to do? All those things. Clarity of mind. Now, of course, I didn't turn it to landscape. However, you get the picture. It was a wonderful thing to be a part of, and it was a great memory for the 4th of July for me. I hope you've had a great 4th. I hope everything that you're doing to get along in your carnivore journey or your ketovore, whatever it is that you're using, I hope it's working for you. I do encourage you to find groups and to see if you can become a part of a group. Hopefully you find that community support, because it's a difficult thing we're trying to do. Hey, if you like this video or any of the content, I sure would appreciate it if you'd push a like, share it, or let other people know about it. If you have any comments, you have any questions, put them down there in that comment section. Let me know. I'll get back to you. This channel's not so big yet that I can't reply to people when they make a comment. Sure do appreciate you dropping by, watching the video, and sharing as you have your time with me. Take care. Peace, prayers, and blessings. Bye-bye.